My name is Austin Phillips, and this is the technology training using Google in the classroom for new teachers. All right, now first, some reasons for this training. This year in our school, we're going one-to-one Chromebooks in every core subject classroom. Therefore, utilizing technology is going to be crucial for each teacher. A second reason is teacher-identified need for professional development. It was done through our teacher interviews that this was something every teacher wanted. And then finally, obviously, just integrating technology into the daily activities of the classroom, especially trying to develop 21st century learning and skills for our students is important. Some goals of this training. Number one, teachers will practice the use of Google Docs to learn how to implement into the classroom. Number two, each teacher will have the knowledge to successfully implement Google Classroom at the beginning of the year. Now, maybe not really in-depthly, but they'll be able to implement Google Classroom on a basic level so that it can be successful with students. And then third is to introduce teachers to additional resources in Google. So the first aspect we're going to look at are Google Docs and slides. There's some benefits of these. They automatically save when any work is done. Students can access anywhere as long as they have a device and internet access. Students can share and collaborate while in the classroom or away from school because it's online. And also they can be easily uploaded or submitted into Google Classroom. So how do we use these? And I'm going to actually kind of show you how to use these, and you're going to do it yourself. Now first, when you go and sign into Google into your profile, you go to this little waffle icon where all the Google apps are, and you have a lot of different options, your Mail, your Drive. The two that I'm going to focus on right now are Google Docs and Slides. Now I'm only going to open up Docs because both of these are set up very similar. Google Docs is the Google form of Microsoft Word. Google Slides is the presentation. So Google Docs. I'm going to open up a blank document and just kind of let you see the format of it. Obviously very similar to Microsoft Word. You can see that. So to me, some of the biggest benefits are it saves automatically. So if I type in welcome to the Google training, you see right here where it says it's saving, and then all changes saved on Drive. So it is automatically saved. Second best benefit to me, one of the major benefits of Google Docs, are the ability to share these. Now right now you can see where it says up here in the top at the share icon, it's private only to me. I'm the only person that can access this. When I click to share, it gives me an option to title it. I'm going to skip that for right now, and it goes to right here, share with others. The best way to share is by entering emails. So this is my school email. Let's say I wanted to share this with my Google email, my personal. I type that in, it comes up, and I can click on that. And when I send this, it will share that to my other Gmail. Obviously in a school, our students can share this between each other. As a teacher, you also have the option to get a shareable link right here. By clicking on this, it'll pop open where you have a link that you can copy and paste for your students. Okay? Now one thing to see as well, if I go back into my account, I just created that document. So I'm going to go into my Google Drive right here. And I just want to show you, here is that document that I just created. Right there. So if I open that up, there it is. I just created that and it's been saved. You can always access it anytime. Okay? Now, what I want you to do right now is to pause this presentation, and I want you to actually create a Google Doc and share it with the other new teachers you're working with and going through this training with. On each Google Doc, you need to put your name, your teaching assignment, and years of experience that you have. And as you complete this activity, I want you to notice how once the document is shared between multiple people, you all can work on it at the same time. Okay. Now that you've finished the activity for the Google Doc, we're going to move on to Google Classroom. Google Classroom is great, especially with Chromebooks, which is what we have. They're easy to use with Chromebooks. It's an online classroom where almost everything can be placed for a teacher and for student access. You can post announcements, assignments, assessments, questions for discussion or review, videos, website, and more things can be given to your students. This allows teachers to quickly see which students have completed their work, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. And also, just like Google Docs, students can access this work anywhere with the device and internet access. All right, so I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to go back to my waffle icon. Now, you don't see Google Classroom here. You have to go down and hit more down here at the bottom, and then it'll come up down here like this chalkboard. And you see it says Classroom, so I'm going to click on that. Now you'll see mine has multiple classrooms from last year and from previous years. So this is kind of what it looks like. You should have some already set up for you by the school system. So I'm going to open up the Google Training one that I just created just to show you on this. And I've actually already created a couple of different things, a question and a Google Form assignment. So on this you can see now I have no students in here, but if I had students in here, it would show those students. It would show me how many of my students total were finished with the assignment and were not finished with the assignment. It's a quick and easy way to see that. All right, so you can also click right here to see a list of your students or invite students. And then the About section is great for things like your class syllabus and things that you want your students to be able to access very quickly throughout the entire year. So where you're going to use it the most is down here in this little plus icon. You'll notice when you go down to it, 4 things pop up. Create announcement, create assignment, create question, and reuse post. And obviously reuse post is for something you've already created in a previous post or a previous section, previous classroom. Create question, create assignment, and create announcement. I'm just going to go over one because all 3 are set up very similar. So if I go to create an assignment, when this opens up, I want you to be able to see this. You can give it a title. So if I say training Google Doc activity. All right, and then I can put instructions right here where I can say turn in the Google Doc you created for the activity here. Okay, and then I can put a due date on it. So sometimes you have no due date, or let's just say I made it for Friday, and then you can set an actual time on it. A lot of times I like to leave the time optional, but this is something teachers can like to set a specific time it's got to be turned in by. And then one of the best things about this part is you can actually submit a file from your computer right here. You can go right here to your Google Drive and upload anything from your Google Drive that you've created. Right here can be a YouTube video that you can show, and then right here can be a website link that you can post into this assignment for students to use to be able to answer this assignment. Now once I'm done and I feel like I've finished everything, I'll go right here and I'll hit assign. Now one thing you can do is you can assign this, you can schedule it for when to assign it. So if I hit assign, it'll take it just a second, but then you can see it pops up right here. Training Google Doc activity. And then as I said, if I had students in there, it would show every student as being not done right now. And then as students submitted their assignment through Google, it would move their name to being done. So it's a quick way to see who's finished. All right. Now going back to this. So for your Google Classroom activity, I want you to pause this presentation and open one of your Google Classroom sections for this upcoming year. Our school district has already created classrooms for you with some students already entered. And what I want you to do is to create either an assignment or a question to post in the class. Now that you've finished the Google Classroom activity, I'm going to move on to some additional resources. And as you can see, when we go into Google and we go to this waffle icon, there are multiple different things. And as you'll learn later, there are tons of different add-on activities and apps that you can use. But 3 that I really want to focus on are Google Forms, Google Hangouts, and Google Earth. So Google Forms can be used for assessments, surveys, and more. And a great thing about it is, like most things that Google creates now, they can be posted onto Google Classroom for easy student access. And then we have Google Hangouts, where you can have a video chat with anyone with a Google account. For me, I teach STEM. This is a great way to have engineers reach out and have conversations with my students, where if I can't get someone in the classroom, I can actually have a quick Google video chat with someone at their work. And it's great for our students to have the opportunity to speak with a lot of different people in that way. And then finally, Google Earth. And Google Earth is great because you can visit almost any location in the world from the classroom, from a computer sitting in your classroom. So I'm going to show you Google Earth first, and then we're actually going to go into Google Forms. So if you hit more right here, Google Forms and more aren't down there. So here's the Forms, here's Hangouts, and here's Earth. So I'm going to click on Google Earth. Now it'll take you a second to open up, but once it does, you can search. So I'm going to search the Eiffel Tower. If I want my students, if I'm doing something on Paris, then I want my students to see the Eiffel Tower. So I can click right here, and then Google Earth will zoom in and actually show you a real image of that location. So you can see right there, you can see the Eiffel Tower. That's a great image to use and a great thing to use. You can move around and look all around. Now, one of the neatest aspects of Google Earth to me, when you close this, it gives some information right here. But when you close this, you come down here to the bottom right and click on this person, and it gives you the option of going to a street view. All these icons, areas in blue, you can click on, and it will drop you right there from a street view. And once it zooms in, it will actually show you, and you can look up, scroll around, look around, and you can see a street view of that image and of what you're trying to look at. Alright. Now, next thing, Google Forms. When I go into, I hit more again, when I go into Google Forms, I said these are used for great surveys, assessments for students. So I'm going to open up a blank Google form. And then you have an area right here for questions, or for responses. Once you start getting responses from students or whoever you submit this to, you have a settings icon. You can preview what you've made. Settings icon at the top right, and it's really good where you can actually limit how many responses they have, if they can edit after they submit. And then actually right here is a really good one to me, where you go into presentation and you can click right here and say shuffle question order. So if you have 10 questions in an assessment or in a short quiz, you can make it where the questions are in different orders so that students can't copy or cheat off of each other as easily. Now moving down, obviously you can title this. You have this first question. You can go over here, right here, to where it says multiple choice. Click on that, and it gives you a multiple options for a type of question. So you can see how this Google Forms can be used in all subject areas, whether it's an English class or a math class or a STEM class, whatever way you want to use it. Now as you go through, on this side, I think there's some really good options where you can add a question. So if I click that, you'll see it's going to create another question for me. So I've got 2 questions on here now. Right here you can add a title or description. You can add an image, so if you want a student to see an image and answer a question based on that image. You can add a video, so if you want students to watch something and answer questions about it. And you can add a different section. Now you can go in here and add title, make your question, add as many options for questions as you want to. And you can actually go down here and you can require a question. So you could say where students cannot submit or finish this form unless they have answered that question. So that's a good option. Sometimes you may do bonus or additional questions, extension questions for other students who you think may finish earlier, you want to assess in greater detail. All right. Now when I go, as I said, it could be very easily uploaded into Google Classroom. So if I go right here and I create an assignment and I click on this Google Drive icon, you can see right there my form, and I can add that in where it will be posted to Google Classroom. Alright. Now some additional resources that you're going to receive through this are step-by-step instructions for the Google Classroom resources that I've actually guided you through already. You'll be given those to help you out as you go through the year. You can review those to make sure you remember how to do these things. I'm also giving you an article. It's called 50 Awesome Apps that Integrate with Google Classroom. There's no way I could give you all the information you possibly would need, and this just gives you more ideas, and you just have to research on your own for some additional ways to use Google Classroom. The final activity that I want you to do is to create a Google form with at least one of each type of available questions on the form, and then you'll submit this form onto the Google Classroom section that has been created by me for this training. If you need any help with this, please see me or your mentor or the technology coordinator at your school. Thank you.